Another madness. There is no real love. All this violence really got me so confused. Can somebody hear me? I need you to hear me. All this wealth in this world, can we share it?
I think really it's a bit of a continuation from what we were saying last week, because they've taken away a lot of the powers from the families also. You see what I mean? Where I think some of the power should be given back. I'm not saying that the parents should be abusing their kids, but they should be allowed
some form of discipline.
Yeah, to give them a better form of discipline.
The empty school and local college premises should be offered for use at weekends and holidays by community groups to put on activities for members of the local community. Facilities like gym, floodlit playing fields, theatres, communal halls, specialist workshops and media studios, etc.
I agree with that, and I was thinking after I left the last meeting about what the lady was saying about that school in, I can't remember the area, that is open from 7 till 10, and they use it for as a community resource. And I think that's a really, really good idea, and would like to kind of see more of that happening. But I agree with loads of these recommendations, but it does make me think of what can I do as an individual to make sure that these recommendations get implemented.
Exactly, and this is we'll actually go on to that after we cover what we can do. Yes.
Sorry, I just want to add, as growing up as a youth, this gentleman here, Tyrone, he played a big role model in my lifestyle. And as I come out of school, he used to approach me as a kid and try to get me into the gym to do some boxing. And I started doing it for a couple of years. I stuck with him for a long time. I was taking part in other activities with him, sport activities, and I enjoy it a lot until the day where they stopped the funding.
You see that you can't say that.
No, you can't say that. That means that you're trying to say, what this paragraph is trying to say is everybody that grown up in a one-parent family is an idiot.
No, not necessarily. I think what it's saying is that
it's the wording, you're not reading the wording properly.
No, children are more prone, meaning they're more likely to do something when they grow up in that kind of environment.
How can you say that?
Personally, I would slightly agree to that.
No,
but I mean,
there's no way there's even
an example, like recently been in a workshop, and a couple of people referred to that program, The Wire on BBC 2, yeah? Who's been watching it recently when there's that boy's mother, Wait, hold on, I'm not finished. Nay's mother is encouraging him to go show crack on the street corners, and then when he got picked up and got nicked, he was scared to go to prison because of the other guys from the other east side might get it. And his mum, when she found out, she turned around and said to him, "Are you stupid? Are you scared to go into jail?" Whereas she was kind of encouraging him, you know what I say?
Okay, your turn. It doesn't mean to say that because my dad went to jail.
No, I said more likely.
It's rooted, it's from the family, because whatever we learn it from the family. Alright?
No, but it's what Bev said. It says here that the parents have been unwilling to meet their physical needs. That means that you might have a parent who don't give a toss about their kid.
That's another issue.
That is what it's saying.
Because I can't read or write. That means I want my kid well older.
Yeah, but what it's saying is those parents that say, "I don't care about my kids," that's the kind of family that is likely to produce a child that doesn't care about itself and society. It's not saying that all children some individuals can overcome those things and they use it, they might see those negative models and they think, "I'm not leading my life like that, I can see where their mistakes are and I'm going to lead my life like this." But it's more likely, if you've got those negative role models, that it's harder for you to live your life in a positive way because you don't kind of know how to. But the problem I had with the unwilling bit was it's taking away the responsibility of the societal pressures like poor housing, lack of access to employment that cause a lot of these pressures. It's not unwilling for me to meet my child's physical and material needs. It's impossible. If I've only got 25 quid, how can I buy a laptop?
We can't.
Alright,
it seems as if this research is based on some sort of, you know what I mean, they've been to some area where there's like deprived children or something, do you know what I'm saying, where families ain't, you know what I'm saying, too, like basically suited to what we think is normal, do you know what I'm saying? But when there's a single parent family and you've got to work hard, there's not as much time to put into your kids, and you have to be honest, nowadays kids are more influential on each other than parents are to them. We see kids being disrespectful to their parents, so now parents don't even really matter. It depends on the youth's mind and their surroundings, you see what I'm saying? And if you've got a strong mind, you can sort of climb out of it, but it's hard because if all you know is crime or a certain lifestyle, and round the corner that's what's there, further than that that's what's there, do you know what I'm saying? You wouldn't really, you know what I'm saying, be motivated to get out of it, and you can't blame parents for it. You can't
that's
blame
a condition.
Yeah, what I'm saying is you can't blame parents for, do you know what I'm saying, the way kids turn out, because parents are your only sort of role models in society. You got to teach, you go to school, you got teachers, you watch TV, you see people that are successful. Music, you see people that are successful and have actually got a positive message, you see what I'm saying? So life is not, like the way a child turns out is not only by the way their parents are, because that's why we have society. Yeah. Society is what molds people, you see what I'm trying to say? So you can't just blame it on the way kids grow up or whatever, it's not that, man, there's a bigger picture.
I mean, not just blame it on
yeah, if anything, you'd be more motivated to get out of that lifestyle if you live like that. If your parents are in prison and you ain't really had what you wanted all your life, you want to get out of that.
If the parents or the parent doesn't express the emotional needs, physical needs, because you don't actually need money for emotional needs or physical needs, that's free. And the fact, if your parent or parents, they was inside and they came out, but they was teaching you the right thing, that will mean they're a good parent. So I think, but financially, that's a different thing. Financially, it could be tough.
The Boston Miracle, it recommends that people should get harsher sentences, or is that your opinion?
No, it was two things. So they'll go to gang members and they'll give them alternatives. And at the point of sentences as well, they'll give them alternatives.
Right. But did you say that you believe that harsher sentences should be...
For some crime, I think it's, yeah, for some crime I think it's way too light.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to disagree with that, because personally I've been to jail before, and it doesn't matter whether you get a long or a short sentence. You go to jail, you come out, you're bitter, you're twisted. You know, there's no two ways about it. You're going to come out and hurt individual.
You know, what I don't understand is how can somebody say that putting large, putting a tax to criminals,
But you know what?
tax, criminals, electronic tax and VAT. So what do you want those criminals to, you want them to go roaming the street and doing as they like? Because I think they should be put away for life.
You'll let them put away from life?
Yes, because they're not good.
Can I just say, what about the idea of like the short, sharp shot? You know, like some sort of military special work, national service kind of thing.
I've done that. I've done the detention centre. I've done that. Don't work.
Right, okay. So not personally, it doesn't work.
I don't think the system is designed for there to be crime, but because there is crime, the system's adapted to make money off of it, you see what I'm saying? And from them making money off of it, you won't really want to stop that. Like, this whole discussion right here can make a difference, but at the same time, despite this, there's a lot of other, you know what I'm saying? Like, people trying to make a difference, you see what I'm saying? And it's not really having an impact. It might have an impact on a little area here, a little area here, but while you're focusing on this area here, that area over here is getting worse, you see what I'm saying? And then people from this area is going to influence other people. I'm just talking, this is what's really happening, you see what I'm saying? From when someone's got influence on other people, it don't matter what society is doing, it don't matter what area you're in, you follow that person. You think when someone goes to block themselves for a religion, they're thinking, yeah, I'm doing this for myself. They're thinking for a bigger picture because they've been influenced. You see what I'm saying? Same way in the community, everyone's got an influence, you see what I'm saying? And crime is one of the major influences. If you watch TV, there's loads of crime, you see what I'm saying? Religion is one of the major influences as well, you see what I'm saying? Because there's loads of religion, you see what I'm saying? So the way the world is, really, I think there's always going to be crime and there's always going to be people that are socially deprived because, one, it's in their own, it's in themselves where they don't want to, do you know what I'm saying, really aspire and have a 9-to-5 job. Because personally, I don't want to work in an office, you see what I'm saying? I've got to do something practical, and there might not be practical things that I want to do around here, do you know what I'm saying? Personally, you lot might not even want to know this, but I want to be a farmer in the long run when I'm an old man to be a farmer. But right now, for me to be a farmer would mean I have to take myself away from everyone I want to be around. I have to go to the countryside. Maybe I'm going to have to like live in a way that I don't really like living at the moment. Not everyone, but there's a large majority of people in this country that are driven to crime. Look at the MPs when they took all the money. That's a crime. And none of them have gone to prison just because it said, oh, I'm going to pay that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What we're trying to do is say to people, you don't have to do crime. There's a better way of living in life where you can have better morals and them things there. But when you see people at the top committing crimes and getting away with it, when someone's telling you don't do it, you're thinking, hang on a minute, but if he's getting away with it and he's in a much higher position than me and he's in a higher position than you, why should I listen to you when the big man himself is doing crimes? And we all know, I think everyone in this room knows that people are gaining from this war. There's always gain from the war because you have to sell trucks, you've got to sell guns, you've got to sell, every bullet fired, it costs money. You see what I'm saying? On both sides. So it's really all about money, you see what I'm saying? And when you live life, no matter if you've got good morals or bad morals, you want money. You see what I'm saying? Because money is what makes the world go round, literally nowadays, you see what I'm saying? So when you've got a mentor saying to you, do right, do right, do right, and there's someone hiding that mentor who's doing wrong and getting away with it, you think to yourself, hang on a minute, why am I playing myself? He's telling me not to do it, but he's doing it. And I know there's a whole concept of do as I say, not as I do, but hang on a minute, we don't have to live like that. You see what I'm saying? That if he's doing it and getting away with it, I'm going to do it and get away with it. That's what someone with a mind that hasn't been sort of guided up by someone. You see the same way we was talking about families where there's not as much attention paid in. You start looking for other places, you see what I'm saying, for motivation. I don't look at the big man who's getting the most amount of money.
We're watching a war in Iraq, we're watching a war in Afghanistan, we're watching wars happen, and because we see bombs and buildings exploding, half bodies and men, people, and dead children, we're puking up and saying we've got to do something about this. But my man's right on it. There's a war happening in your own neighborhood. Yeah? There's no buildings dropping because they don't like that kind of war. But they like to put pen to paper, blow up the old legislation, which meant this group of caring people or all volunteers who are helping the situation have to stop doing that and run about their 9-to-5 jobs. So those youths now who are growing up with that support haven't got that support no more. They've now become a gang. They're a group of kids, our kids, we're working because of this bomb that was dropped. So here they are, 2 years, 3 years, under surveillance, you know, bought with our tax money from our work. You got me? Billions. So all of a sudden, it's reverted on our own selves to a point now. When you go and ask the policeman, what is he doing here? He come from that group of kids, and you tell him that's my group of kids. Now he wants to question you, your wife, your dog, all the in-laws. And if you don't say the right thing, you've now got yourself in a situation whereby if you don't leave the family, you're bringing grief to them. So we've now got a situation where the whole thing works against the family. And that youngster who's grown up watching all of this and realised it for himself, there's a war going on. Now, do I go in as a commando or do I go in as a peacemaker? He knows if he's on his own, he goes in as a peacemaker, he'll shoot you down.
You get kidnapped just like in Iraq, you get kidnapped.
I experienced that because by rights, you're supposed to be under lock and key, you're supposed to be tagged up, your authorities are supposed to know you left, right and centre. Right, so this is what I'm saying. If we listen to what he's saying, the war's happened, the war is continuing, no point being nice now. We've got to identify those people who are coming in, making these little clandestine undercover plans, destroying, dropping the bomb, running off. I've done my 5 years there, the contract's over, I've just dropped all the bombs, and they've laid a kind of, somebody called it killing fields. There was a film named The Killing Field. If you want to see a generation of talented people, we have to look after these kids. Well, if we want to see the killing fields, then hear what they're saying, pretend you didn't hear, pretend you didn't notice, keep talking about the good old days, and we'll watch them die.